What if I told you I quit my soul-sucking 9 to 5 back in 2013 and never looked back, and you could do it too? In 2017, my husband and I started working together. In 2019, we became entrepreneurs, and 2 years later, fast forward 2 years later, we're making multiple six figures and still building. If you and your boo are tired of clocking in, clocking out, going to this 9 to 5 every day and building someone else's dreams, then this video is for you. Okay, I'm going to go over what you need to, leave your 9 to 5, quit your 9 to 5 in the right way, so that you can start building your own dreams. You can start working together with your partner and build something on your own. Okay, we're going to cover your bills, your safety nets, how to earn more before you quit. So stick around. I'm going to tell you what actually works, so you can do this with your spouse without killing each other, because there's things you need to do first. There's things you need to put in place first, things you need to discuss first, so that you will not fight when issues arise, because you will if you don't. So this plan will help you with that. Okay, and it'll help you live your job faster. So first, when you decide to quit and start building your financial future together, this is the first step you need to do. And you don't have to, it's not going to take you 5 years to do it if you decide to, come up with a plan and put the plan in place and then start working your plan. So first you need to know your bills. No surprises. All your monthly bills. Get your monthly bills together. Your mortgage, your rent, and then your utilities. So all of your utilities, electric, water, gas, trash, whatever you have to pay on a monthly basis, weekly basis, your HOA fees, all of that. Make sure you get all of that together. Then your insurance, your health, auto, life, home, renters, insurance, everything that you pay, your phone, your internet, transportation, your car, your gas, maintenance, oil changes. If you don't have a car, but you take the bus, you take the train, whatever passes, if you take Uber, count all that in. Okay, and then child care, whatever you pay for your child care expenses, your tuition, your daycare, whatever supplies you have to buy for them, whatever activities that they have to pay for. Then your groceries, your household items. Then take into account your debt, all of your debt, credit card debt, student loans, medical bills, and then your subscriptions, Netflix, whatever apps you pay for. Write it all down. You want to write it down because you're not going to remember everything, and so you could use a spreadsheet, or you can use an app to keep track of this. And don't forget about the bills that you have set to come out automatically, because you're going to forget something. Trust me, I did. I was paying the Books A Million annual subscription I got from my daughter years ago that she don't even use anymore, and I forgot all about it. So make sure you go through and look that your bills that you have on auto, and write those down. Okay, and then next step, you want to calculate all the bills you won't have once you're not going. If you go outside of your home, like you won't have the expenses of as much gas. You won't be using much gas. You won't be eating out as much during lunch. And then you can factor in child care. Are you going to be still taking your child to child care, or part-time, or all of that? All of those job-related expenses, write them down. If you have dues or a parking pass, and then all the things that come up while you're in the office, like birthday parties and potlucks. You won't have those expenses you got to come up with anymore. So write all those down, and then add those to your entrepreneur fund. Okay, then step 3, you're going to build a safety net, emergency fund, and the goal is a minimum of 3 to 6 months of your household expenses. Okay, and then you want to also figure out like you're gonna want to add in like a fund, and it doesn't have to be much, but it needs to be something to where you don't feel like while you're going through this, you're not able to do anything. And then you also want to have an entrepreneur fund for expenses that you're going to have when you start your entrepreneur journey. Like, and you don't have to do all of this to start, but you are going to have some expenses. So like, if you want to start your website, which I don't suggest doing that immediately, but some things you're going to have to do. Maybe like getting your LLC or getting some things set up for you know, that you want to have in place, or some things that you need, some small things that you might need to start off. So all of that needs to be accounted for too. And then your 401, if you have a 401k, then you want to make sure you roll that over to IRA so that can keep building. And then next you want to bring more money in if you can. Before you quit, like a little small side hustle, like maybe drive Uber part-time, or do some consulting, or if you have a skill that you can do something, you know, create something online, or you know, do something for someone that you can create something, or create a course, or maybe you're good with in a certain area and you know you can sell that online and that can bring in a little money. All the extra money needs to go towards the entrepreneurial fund. It doesn't need to go back in the house. It needs to go back to that. So, and just think of ways that you could start. That you could bring in a little extra money. Maybe start a YouTube channel. That's something free. And you could teach a skill on your YouTube channel and maybe get them monetized that way. All of that extra income that's going to be coming in, and that you're going to, when you think about when you cut, when you're not going into office anymore, that all needs to go into your entrepreneurial fund. And so you need to, once you do that, then you could talk about, you know, what life is going to look like, your roles in the business, who's going to be doing what, who's going to be the manager, who's going to be the salesperson, who's going to be the organizer. And remember to play each other, work in each other's strengths. Whatever your strength is, then that should be, you should have a role in that strength, and vice versa. So that you can start, you know, you can work together and there's no arguments or things that arise. And then you definitely want to set business hours. No 24/7 work. Talk at the dinner table. You're going to have weekly meetings where you discuss the money, and both partners see where the money is going. Okay, and make sure you do work on your strength-based roles so that you play to each other's strengths. And that's very important, so that each one could do what they're better at. And then once you get all of that organized and set up, and you figure out the roles each one is going to play, make sure that you have a conflict rule too. That's important. How you're going to handle things if a conflict comes up, if things get heated, you know. So that needs to be discussed also. And then child and family, your family factors. If you have children, small children, you're going to just discuss with them, hey, when mom and dad get to this point and we decide to leave our jobs and we're going to be working together from home, or you know, whatever, then this is what it's going to look like. If you have older kids, give them some roles so they'll know, you know, bring them into it so they can start having the mindset of being an entrepreneur too. Okay, and then when you're ready to transition, you know, pay down your high interest debt. Make that a priority to get that paid down so that you won't have, you don't want to be too worried about all the bills. You want to make sure you can cover the bills until your business starts growing and you're able to start bringing in that money again. So have a plan for that, okay? And before you leave, you need to have at least 50% of one partner's income covered. Okay? And then when you can start working on your business, and then you need to have 80 to 100% of both covered. And then that's when you're ready to, start thinking about quitting your 9 to 5 and creating your, strategy for your future business. You got your safety net set in place. And then, it's time to start betting on yourself as a couple. And you can do this. You can do it. You just got to make sure you have that plan together first. And once you set that plan together, write that date down on a calendar. And then remember it, right? Put it on your phone. Discuss your why for doing it so that you can stick to it. And, then it's time. It's time to start your own successful entrepreneur journey as a couple. And you can start, then you'll learn, start creating financial freedom as a couple. You'll be ready to leave corporate America with your partner, and you stop building someone else's dreams and start building your own dreams, so you can start living your life on your terms. So that's all I have today. I think I covered every step. If I didn't, I'll put them in the comments below, or if you have any questions, then just put them in the comments below. We can discuss them, and I can also put come up with a financial planner tool so that you could write all of this down and remember all of the steps. If you would like that, just drop your email below and I can send that to you. All right, that's all I have for y'all today. Talk to y'all later. Bye.